What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Hail Mary. Hope you guys had a great week watching some football, watching whatever you were watching. Whatever you were watching, hope you guys had a great week. And today, this is going to be a very baseball-centric episode, I would say. Mostly if you are a New York Yankee fan. If you're a fan of the Yankees, you may not want to listen to this episode because I am sick of Yankee fans. I'm done with it. We'll get into it. We will get into it. Before we get into the episode though, big shout out to Underdog, big shout out to Sleeper. Use the code HMM when you sign up. You're going to get yourself a free 0.5 pick plus a deposit match as well when you sign up using the code HMM. And then also, again, guys, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification. Thank you for over 5,000 subscribers. It's been awesome. I very much appreciate that. And follow us on all of our short-form platforms. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube Shorts. We are everywhere. You know where to find us. And follow us over on X. Trying to get at least 1,000 followers over there. So if you guys can follow us on X, it is at Hail Mary Media _. That would be awesome. So today I want to talk about Yankee fans as it pertains to Aaron Judge, as it pertains to Paul Skeens, and then also about the Cy Young and MVP stuff that went on. And then we will finish it off and we will talk about the football game that we had last night, the Jets versus the Patriots, and why it hurts my soul that the Patriots are very good again, and my team still is ass. We touched on this a little bit last week, but we're going to reiterate as to why it makes me sad. So I want to talk about first Yankee fans. So there was a report that came out, obvious clickbait, obvious someone was putting something out to drive a narrative that Paul Skeens wants to be a New York Yankee. I don't even remember the guy's name, not even going to bother looking it up, but he writes for like the NewJersey.com. I don't know what it fucking is. But he wrote an article talking about how Paul Skeens is in the locker room telling an anonymous Pirate teammate that he wants to be a New York Yankee so bad, and he can't wait for the team to trade him so he can go be a New York Yankee. People are coming out saying that it is Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and he's disgruntled, and he's just talking smack on the Pirates, and he didn't like his time there, so he's trying to sabotage them, which I don't know why you're bullying a team that gave you a chance and then traded you away so you were able to make it to the World Series, but I digress if you want to be an absolute loser like that. So anyway, this article came out about, again, Paul Skeens saying, oh, I can't wait to be a Yankee, and I really want them to trade me to be a Yankee. And then you have Paul Skeens coming out saying, like, that's BS, and you have people like Jason Mackey, who write for the Pirates, saying, like, yeah, I talked to Paul, I talked to Livy, I talked to his family. Like, no, he likes Pittsburgh. Do I believe that Paul Skeens is in the locker room telling teammates, oh my God, I can't wait to be a Yankee? Absolutely not. You don't do that. Like, he's not doing that. If he's doing it at all, he's doing it in private with people that he 1 billion, million, trillion% trusts. He's not doing it to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa saying, yeah, dude, I can't wait to be a Yankee, bro. Like, I can't, like, no, he's not doing that. So whoever wrote this article, one is either lying, two is either just talking to somebody who is an ex-teammate who is disgruntled at their time there, and three, Yankee fans took this and ran to the freaking moon with it, being like, oh my God, imagine how good our team's gonna be when we get Paul Skeens. Not if we get Paul Skeens, when we get Paul Skeens. And it just reiterates how spoiled, how entitled, and how dumb and weird Yankee fans are. Most of these fans, they watch probably the first 2 series of the year so they can say they were in on the ground floor. They watch from the beginning of the season, and then they watch around September, when the Yankees are in a playoff spot, battling for a playoff spot, that's when they start watching again. They don't watch from July to August. They don't watch in that time span. But they get the updates on their phone. But most of these Yankee fans are insufferable, because after this article came out, it was like, oh my God, all we had to do was give up Cam Schlittler and Anthony Volpe and like one other guy, and Paul Skeens is ours. No. And then you had like John Boy Media, where anytime, listen, they were glazing hard. I have a feeling that they were doing this on purpose, because the way that they were acting, my God, they were spitting on it with fucking, they were bouncing on it. Let me tell you that. The way that, like, anytime Livy would post something, they'd be like, oh, LOL, that's so true. Like, she would be she'd be like, oh my God, Paul Skeens back to back. Paul Skeens Cy Young winner. And they'd be like, haha, yeah, he is. And then he would post, Paul Skeens was posting a picture with a hot dog, and they're like, LOL, you're so funny, Paul. They had to have been trolling. I hope they were trolling, because if not, if they actually are believing this garbage that somebody in the locker room for the Pirates has been getting inside information that Paul Skeens wants to be a New York Yankee, I am going to write so many fake articles. If John Boy, if all of these diehard Yankee fans, now I will say they're diehards, but most of the people, and we'll get to some Yankee fans in my comments, they have no idea what happens between June and, I should say, May and August. They have no idea what's going on. They watch the first couple series, so again, they could be like, I was there from the beginning. Then they watch towards the end, and they're the biggest Yankee fans of all time, and then the Yankees get booted from the playoffs. They angry tweeted everybody, be like, haha, F you, 27 championships. It's like, well, how many were you alive for? Please name me 5 players who were on those rosters who won the World Series that year in 1926 or whenever you guys won. So, Yankee fans are the most delusional people on the planet, which is going to get into my next thing. Aaron Judge and the whole MVP thing. Now, I was very pro Cal Raleigh this year. I believed this was the year that Cal Raleigh should have won MVP. Because for some reason, the MLB, I guess, just doesn't take into account defense. They don't care about defense. It's who can hit the ball far and who's in a bigger market. And that's pretty much it. But here's the thing. So last year, the narrative with Aaron Judge was, well, look how many home runs he hit. Look how many RBIs he put up. He has to be MVP for that. He hit so many home runs. He hit the most amount of home runs. He has to win MVP for that reason and that reason alone. Well, this year, Cal Raleigh hits more home runs. Cal Raleigh, more RBIs. Cal Raleigh, better defensively. Cal Raleigh, switch hitter. Cal Raleigh plays the toughest position in the sport. But that argument from last year with Yankee fans where it was, no, look how many home runs Aaron Judge hit. Look how many home runs. He has to be the MVP because he hit so many home runs. Well, that didn't matter this year. Everyone's like, whoa, home runs? You think that home runs matter? No, it's batting average. Batting average is the only thing that matters. Pick a freaking side. What are we doing? And I get it. You're fighting for your guy. You want your guy to win another MVP. I'm not going to sit here and say that you're wrong for wanting your own guy to win MVP. You're a fan of him. You're a fan of the team. I get that. I am not shaming you for that. Where I'm shaming you is everything else. Last year it was all about home runs and RBIs. This year, well, that don't mean anything. None of that matters. It's all about batting average. It's all about batting average. And then I hear, well, Aaron Judge missed 16 games this year. Who cares? I don't care how many games he missed. Why does that? So missing games counts for you should be MVP? So if a player next year hits 3 home runs in his first game, and then as he's rounding the bases, he pops his Achilles tendon on the 3rd home run. So we're just going to say, well, if you take the 3 home runs that he had that game and then multiply it by another 161, because that's how many more games he would play, he should be the MVP. Is that what you're trying to tell me? That just have a good first half of the season, get hurt the second half of the season, and we'll just take those same stats from this half and put them on this half. Yankee fans are delusional. And half of them aren't even fans. They're bandwagon. Because like I said, they watch this block, and then they have no idea what's going on here, and then they'll watch this block in the playoffs. Well, they'll watch this block here, where they're about to make the playoffs, and then they'll watch the playoffs, and then get mad and tweet at everybody, like I said, 27 championships! Yankee fans are insufferable. If it wasn't that first, with the Paul Skeens stuff, and then being like, oh my God, I can't wait till we get Paul Skeens, and we only have to give up like Anthony Volpe because the Pirates are so dumb. Oh, the Pittsburgh Pirates, they're so dumb, they'll give up Paul Skeens for nothing. It's just entitlement, stupidity, weirdos. Do you know who Yankee fans? I was thinking about this earlier because I was like, who are Yankee fans? Yankee fans are like the Bagel Boss. You remember the Bagel Boss? That little guy who was like 5'0", and he was getting in a fight in the bagel shop because he said, women on dating sites are telling me to off myself because I'm short. And people were like, that means, like, why are you telling us this? That's like Yankee fans, like, the first thing, like, you sit down and talk to a Yankee fan, and they go, we have 27 championships. It's like, I didn't ask that. I didn't bring any of that up, actually. And then whenever you fight back with them or say anything, you cannot even fight back with them. They could sit down and go, Aaron Judge is MVP, and you go, well, I don't think so. Then they get the little, they think they're pit bulls in a Yorkie body. That's what Yankee fans are. They have a pit bull mentality, like, I'm from the Bronx, bro. I'm tough. Pit bull mentality in a Yorkie body. They're being carried around in Paris Hilton's purse, but they got this pit bull mentality like, oh, bro, I'll bite your face off. And they're just like the Bagel Boss, where they lash out on everybody else, and then the second somebody fights back, they cower, and they get whooped. And that's what the Yankees do every year in the playoffs. They get whooped. And they're just going to continue to try to buy their way to another championship, and it doesn't work. You're not the Dodgers. You're not the Dodgers. You'll never be the Dodgers. We're probably not going to see a championship in my lifetime again for the Yankees, but who knows? We'll see. But Yankee fans are the most insufferable people currently right now on the planet. That, listen, we get, there's waves as to how insufferable. I'm not going to say Yankee fans have forever been the most insufferable. Now, it depends. If you're from Boston, then yeah, you think they are. Me, from Pittsburgh, it goes in waves, where it's usually around this time of year where after the Yankees lose in the first round of the playoffs, they get delusional. They start going, well, we'll get this guy, and we'll get this guy, and we'll sign this guy, and we're gonna get JT Realmuto, and we're gonna get Bryce Harper, and we're gonna bring in Kyle Schwarber, and we're gonna get Kyle Tucker, and we're gonna get Paul Skeens, and we're gonna trade for Shohei Ohtani, and Mookie Betts will just be thrown into the deal for Anthony Volpe, and we'll actually trade Anthony Volpe to the Pirates, and for because of that trade that we traded Anthony Volpe to the Pirates, the Dodgers are just gonna hand us Shohei Ohtani because of that, and it's like, what are you talking about? And that's what it's like. It's like, I'm just changing everything up, because the more that I talk about how insufferable Yankee fans are, the more Yankee fans are a pitbull mentality in a Yorkie body on Adderall. That's what they are. They are a Yorkie with a pitbull mentality that got into their big sister's Adderall. That's exactly what it is. So yeah, that is my 15-minute rant on how annoying and weird Yankee fans are. So if you are a Yankee fan and you made it through this whole thing, congratulations. Congratulations. Well, let's continue to talk about baseball. And we're actually going to talk about Paul Skeens, who we already talked about, and we're going to talk about Skubal. Skubal wins back-to-back Cy Youngs. Paul Skeens wins his first Cy Young. And the problem with baseball is not that they won. It's good that they won. The problem with baseball is that the second they won, the question wasn't, whoa, are these teams, the Pirates and the Tigers, are they going to start building around these guys? Are they going to start putting pieces together to really solidify what they got in these two amazing pitchers? That wasn't the question. The question is where are they going to play next year? And that is the problem with baseball. Imagine last year for the NFL that Josh Allen won the MVP, and everybody's like, yeah, can't wait till he's a Chief, because that's what happened with Skubal. The second Skubal won, everyone's like, dude, he's going to look so good in Dodger blue. What? That is, and I'm not blaming the Dodgers. Don't think that the people who are out here saying the Dodgers are ruining baseball, and I'm not even, listen, I just went on a rant about Yankee fans. Yankee fans and the Yankees aren't ruining baseball either. They're playing the game. Will I blame the Mets, the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Red Sox if they go out and sign or trade for Skubal? No, I absolutely will not. They're playing the game, and they're doing what they're able to do. There's no salary cap. They can do that. These other teams, the Tigers, the Pirates, the Marlins, the A's, the Rays, they're not playing the game. So that's the problem with baseball, is the second Skubal wins, it's, well, who's he playing for next year? That shouldn't be the immediate question. And then, like, Paul Skeens wins Cy Young, and you get articles coming out. He wants to be a Yankee. He really wants to be a Yankee, which then fuels this narrative that, oh yeah, he's going to be a Yankee, which I'm not saying he's not going to be. He could, because the Pirates are seemingly incompetent. They are, which Bob Nutting came out and was like, yeah, we're going to spend, well, Bob Nutting didn't come out and say this, because why the hell would he talk about spending money? Ben Sheridan came out and said, we're going to spend $30 to $40 million this year. And people got excited. You need to take that whole quote, wrap it up in totality. What it means to me is we're going to get rid of $45 to $50 million of the roster from last year, and then we're going to spend $40 or $30 million. So they're going to technically save $10 million from last year, but then they're going to tell everybody, look, we just spent $40 million. What do you want from us? The payroll is not going up for the Pirates. If you think at all the Pirates are going to have a $90 to $100 million payroll, you're out of your freaking mind. There's no way that Bob Nutting will let that happen. There's no freaking way that he would ever justify in his mind that $100 million is okay. Is that what you need to do to win in this league? Yes. But there is zero chance in hell that he's going to do that. 0, 0, 0. So that is why I believe that they're like owners like that is why there is this immediate question for guys like Scooble, guys like Skeens, where they win a major award and the first question is, where are they playing next year? That's it. So, yes, that article about Skeens, 100% clickbait. 100% just to rah-rah Yankee fans and get them all wound up and get whoever this guy who wrote it, get him clicks on his website, which, again, if that works, I am changing Hail Mary Media to nothing but clickbait. Nothing but clickbait. That's all it's going to be. I will take every major star in the MLB, the NFL, the NHL, the NBA, and I will just write LeBron James going to Phoenix. LeBron James wants to play for Cleveland again. LeBron James going back to, like, I will do that, and I will post 5,000 articles. I'll just pump it in the AI and have them write these fucking long-ass things for me that is just keyword-filled, and I will just collect clicks, collect money, because that is exactly what happened with this article for Paul Skeens. It absolute trash. But it's also the problem with baseball, is because no, Paul Skeens didn't say this to probably Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, which Jared Jones liked the tweet saying that he was a locker room cancer, so it had to have been him. I'm not saying it was him. I'm saying it could have been him. It should have been him. It's probably him. But that is the problem right now with baseball. It's where are these stars playing? Not will the teams actually put something in place for them to further their careers with that said team. And the Tigers are what? $100 million off of a contract for a back-to-back Cy Young guy. That's a guy you give a blank check. That's literally what you do. A blank check. But these teams, they have billions of dollars. They can spend the money. They just won't. And a lot of these teams and these owners, I don't think they understand. Winning brings in fans. Fans buy tickets. Fans buy merchandise. Fans buy beer. Fans buy food. That gets you more money. But no, they just want to collect this revenue check, which is why I think baseball needs to be like, hey, if you are bottom blah in the payroll and you don't make the playoffs, you don't get that revenue check for that year, because you don't care. It's one of those, because like there's going to be teams who are in the bottom, but you know what I'm saying? It needs to be something like that, where if you don't hit a certain threshold of payment, you should not get a revenue check. Because why? Why? That's all I have to say is why. Moving on, let's talk about our final topic, and it is the Patriots, and they're back, and it's sad, and I hate it, and I need a drink. 1 second. The Patriots are back, and it sickens me. We thought this shit was over. Tom Brady left, Bill Belichick gone. They bring in Gerard Mayo, one of the worst coaches in NFL history. Nope, they're back. And it just goes to show it's about ownership. It's about culture. And I don't know if this team is going to win the Super Bowl. They're built to win the Super Bowl. I don't know if they will. But the fact that they're even playing this well is sickening to me. Because in the time that they lost Tom Brady, they lost Bill Belichick, I thought my team, the Steelers, would have been able to find their quarterback as well. Get this, the Steelers I thought were going to be not where the Patriots were, but a little bit lower than where they would be. We're not talking 9-2, we're not talking 8-2, whatever they are. but we're talking better. Defense playing well. They have a quarterback who is competent, which they couldn't figure that out with Kenny. They wasted a pick on Kenny Pickett, which has really set back this franchise. But that is where it sickens me, is that the Patriots were good for a long time, and then they were bad for 3 years, not even, and now they're just back. Like it's like this. Start here, and then it just went woo like that. There was no progression down. It was like straight up good, horrible, back to great. And it goes to show you that it is all about the culture. Say what you want about Robert Kraft. The culture that the Patriots have built, and then Mike Vrabel just continues it, is the reason why they're so good. It is. They had a lull with Mayo, but it didn't seem like Kraft even wanted Mayo in the first place, really. It was weird. He wasn't really a good coach, and now they're back. And the only real thing that I have to say about the New England Patriots, because I don't want to sit here and rah-rah them because it sickens me. It is actually crazy to me that I know more about running backs than an offensive coordinator, actually, and a head coach. I could have told you from the jump. I could have told you from the rip. Hey, you probably shouldn't be starting Ramondre Stevenson. You probably shouldn't be giving Antonio Gibson carries. You got this guy from Ohio State. Every single year he played at Ohio State. Really freaking good. You drafted him in the second round because he's really freaking good. Why did it take the Patriots this long to unlock Travion Henderson? If they had Travion Henderson in that game versus the Steelers, where Ramondre Stevenson fumbled legitimately like 3 times, if they had Henderson starting instead of Stevenson, this is a 10-1 team, 9-1 team, whatever. Like, they win that game. The only reason the Steelers beat the Patriots was because Ramondre Stevenson fumbled so many times. And then everyone thought, well, the next week, because he fumbled so much, they're going to give Travion Henderson the bump. He's going to be the guy now because, again, ball security is job security. Like, you can't fumble that many times and still have a job. But no, Mike Vrabel decided and continued to give the ball to Ramondre Stevenson. And for some reason, it took a killer game versus the Bucs for him to be like, wow, look at what we got. Did he not watch? He's an Ohio State guy. Did he not watch any games? Did he not watch Ohio State last year, or the year before that, or the year before that, or the year before that? Did he not watch any of Travion Henderson's career? When Travion Henderson had Quinshon Judkins, he was the guy. Like, he was still the guy. And Quinshon Judkins is running great right now in Cleveland. So it's just crazy to me that I know more than offensive coordinators and an NFL head coach. Because if I was coaching the Patriots, Travion Henderson is playing, and you don't lose that game to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you could possibly be undefeated because Ramondre Stevenson is not very good. So yeah, that is my latest episode of the Hail Mary. A lot of talk about baseball, a lot of talk about how much Yankee fans are the most insufferable people on the planet. So if you are a Yankee fan, I apologize. Just know that I think that I kind of think the worst of you. I don't think you're very intelligent, to be honest. I don't. I think that most of you, there's a lot of you who love the sport. I will say that. Most of you, 75% of you, are very bandwagon fans and you have no idea what you're talking about. And you just, like, listen, again, you fought for your guy. I get it, but you're switching up the narrative. Again, last year, it was all about home runs. This year, home runs don't matter, apparently. I don't know. You guys are weird. That's what I'll say. So, guys, thank you so much for listening to this edition of the Hail Mary. Be sure to check out Underdog Sleeper. Use the code HMM when you sign up. Get yourself a free 0.5 pick and a deposit match. And also, again, guys, follow us on all of our short form platforms. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube Shorts. Follow us over on X for even more content. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy football. Enjoy hockey. Whatever you're watching, basketball. Have a great weekend, everybody. And I will see you all on Monday to recap what we get this weekend in sports. Peace out, guys. Have a beautiful week.